Hello everyone, I'm Silverraptor and welcome to another Wargame Red Dragon video. So, with the last deck that we created, we made a Polish nation, as you guys requested, and now I am going to play a wonderful Polish game for you today. Now, I was trying to get anyone on to try to play with, and a combination of them being busy when I wasn't, and I'm being busy when they weren't, it just didn't really happen, so I just decided, let's just go pro bono. Let's solo it up. Let's go and find a nice match, and I did. I joined the game with Herosius and Irate Dobre on my team with Yuret, Dogma, and some name I can't even bother trying to figure out how to pronounce. But we are going to go into this game right now. As I said, I am playing the Polish deck. So first off, I am going to be starting off with a Salamandra Recon helicopter. This is going to give me some sight to make sure that they don't try any kind of sneaky shenanigans with helicopter pushes. Now, the thing is, I have lots and lots of wheeled vehicles. So these guys are pretty fast, carried a lot of infantry, and they've also got the RM-70 rocket. And this is going to play a critical role because Boris is quite big, and this shows you kind of the value of the wheeled vehicles. While wheeled vehicles generally tend to be less armored and somewhat less armed than most of their tracked counterparts, this actually will pay off quite well in that respect. As I go over to the right, over in the center, Herosius is going to go and, of course, take the center, and E-Rate is going to the left here in Fedor. We see that there's a Cobra there, and there's a couple of vehicles, Ram TCMs, coming down the center there as well. And I've got my RM-70s already priming up to launch, and as I said, these guys now can fire smoke, and so this will give a large wide area of smoke to cover, as I am sending all my wheeled vehicles straight to this compound, this side of Boris. I'm not going to let them get any kind of foothold in here. A Cobra is coming forward with his rocket pod, see if it can do anything, but I've got some Strazas 1Ms, which can fire on the move, so the missiles are missing, but one of them did hit. And finally, there's enough firepower that Cobra does go down, defending all of my troops, and now it's just a simple matter of unloading and just completely occupying the town here. My Salamandra is here on Overwatch, and I have complete control over Boris right now. So, that just leaves E-Rate. He just needs to get control of this compound, which he's already off to a good start. He's going to go, of course, get complete control over this forest region here, and probably then bring a CV and capture it left over. Smart, safe play. Over here in the center, Hero managed to get his compound here, and is just busy separating all of his forces. He's going to go and try to gain the center here, get another standardized move. And me, I have already got the complete control of Boris. I've got some Sapri. I'm using these as frontline troops. They're the only shock-trained napalm infantry, and they will keep any kind of infantry that come in into this town. Well, they'll burn them alive. I see some LVTPs are here, as well as some vehicles in the background. My Scott 2AMs are starting to open up, but they are revealed, and they are going to be taken out. But the Conquerors have also opened up, and every single missile misses. That is absolutely fantastic. M8 AGS is firing at my vehicles that I just left parked out here, as my infantry are starting to get into position. So he does have this forest, but I bring forward my T-72 Wilk that I did start off at the beginning, and my Salamander is also going to come in with his Conquerors M missiles. And Rocket Pods is going to try to take out LVTP. It does. And now one last final Conquerors M missile is coming and going. So now the Salamander, basically out of ammo, is going to just provide recon so that my Conquerors can actually try to get these M8 AGS, which take out both the last of my Strelazas. My Wilk takes out M8 perfectly. The Conquerors misses, and the anti-tank missile becomes an anti-air missile with no aircraft to shoot down. In the center, a lot is going on as Hero is pushing in. He's got basically a Shilkus going to be providing anti-infantry fire with its vast amount of bullets until it gets taken out by two Merkava 2As and a Merkava 3B. So they've got heavy different tanks, but Hero has the Mod here. So he's definitely engaging hard against the enemy forces at the moment, as I get to clean out anything that is revealed. And as you can see, it looks like there are some spawns there. It's got 2 AP. They're going to open up against whatever vehicle is in here. And it's just going to have a machine gun battle, and no one's really going to win. So in the center, some napalm that are over here, and Hero is quite spread out. Looks like the Mod took quite a bit of damage, but I think he took out, yes, he took out the Merkava 3B. That is quite impressive. The Mod being Finland's best tank at the time, and I provide some supporting fire by dropping all sorts of high explosive rockets down to clear the path and stop any momentum of coming forward as Hero retreats and regroups as best he can. I say that, and then the Merkavas come forward, and I go, whoopsie. Wilk, don't get flanked there. One Merkava, I don't think that actually quite hit. Oh, that Wilk is surrounded on all sides. He needs to back up or needs help. Mod can't quite get a sight on that Merkava 2A. That Wilk is being awfully brave. I see that there's a couple of chaparrals coming back. My Salamandra needs to back up. I am now starting to reinforce with my tanks of my own. I'm going to definitely need to be able to take this forest, but in order to take that, I'll need to take any tanks that he might put in here. And so my Twardies got there, my Wilk got here, my Salamander is coming back for a recon, and my Mi-24W is going to start pulling back as now there's nothing to reveal itself. I know that those AA units were coming in, chaparrals, but I decided to be a bit greedy. I brought my Salamander forward. My Mi-24W does take out the 2 combats. My Mi-24W is trying to get back. Chaparral gets one last shot out and takes out my Salamandra last second, and I realized there are troops here. Trying to send my recon across would just give my supply to the enemy, even though I was going to try to bring it in to resupply my infantry. So, new task for this supply truck. He is going to go and resupply my ally, because I got this. He took the wrong turn, got all the way over here, so he might as well do some good. So, be generous with your supplies. If your ally needs them, go ahead and get them. So, Tornado IDS over here on the left, the enemy is going to try to get E-Rate's toehold out of here. He has a bunch of troops here on the left, basically ready for a flank in case they try to push forward into Fedor. That is definitely pretty good. 18 Hornet comes in, probably took out, I think, my Wilk, and manages to successfully escape. That is very irritating. Heroes 10-4 and a Jackery 90 took out a recon squad and has just got in there, but taken out by a Nighthawk, a real big overkill. But he did reveal briefly that there are some Marines. Hempt is coming in to resupply whatever troops are in there, so I definitely know that there are troops there that can hold that forest. Maglin squad is revealed, firing their Negev. Jackery 90 is being taken out by a really cheap recon tank vehicle over here, the AMX. And Hammer, they're coming in, so they have quite a bit of stuff over here, as we see. Knowing they have a bunch of stuff and trying to get that Hempt, I decided to just pour all the rocket artillery in here. But that being said, I then remembered that the Hempt is armored, so it could probably have survived a barrage like that. We are at a +1 point advantage, and we're just about to strike even very shortly. My spy trucks have finished resupplying the Conquerors, and they only have 1 missile apiece. So that just leaves the rest of my allies to do their own thing. And here comes the flank by E-Rate, catching the enemy completely by surprise. Moderna is coming forward. It's fired a lot of auto-cans of this. This has been quite a hectic battle with all the craters around here. Moderna is charging forward. That's pretty brave, and he's backed up by ASUs, basically 15-point self-propelled guns. Topaz have discovered, what have they discovered? A Mistral. Well, Mistral, your machine guns are no match for light armored vehicles. And he's beginning his push here on the left, but he does have to be mindful of that Leclerc. Constant fighting still going on here in the center as Hero is trying to hold off the enemy forces to come forward. Mod is going up against the Merkava 2A. T-55As are now taking the brunt of the damage. They're all down to 1 point health point each, so they're basically going to try to absorb any fire. The Mod takes 1 shot by the ATGM, but that does hardly anything. Shilka comes forward and manages to stun these ATGM units. just in time. But Tanziums come forward with the RPGs and do take that out. My Conquerors is firing the last of their missiles. Now they're sending a huge massive force forward, and I definitely need to respond to this as quickly as possible. The Conquerors are going to try to back up. They're giving a bit of a line of sight as I should be moving up my tanks anytime due to the range. Riflemen are almost going to make it. Yep. Wardy has just gotten to range of the riflemen and is going to try to keep them from getting to this building. If they get here, this base effectively cuts off my forces in this town. But with both tanks firing, and both tanks have 4 HE power, that's going to rip apart those riflemen. Just need to keep those riflemen from getting to that building. And they're stunned, not quite dead yet. Just need one more fire. And apparently 2A1 is targeting my 20. I am moving forward bravely as my another Mi-24W was helping out, but the 20 said, no, I got this. Takes out that Bradley, no problem. Hero is bringing forward more Jackery 90s to push into the center, and the combined effort with E-Rate, they are pushing forward into the middle. A lot of aircraft are coming out. I turned on my Nuas, and I managed to take out the Nighthawk, which successfully taken out my 20 by landing both missiles on top. My Nuas take out a Kurnas, but the Kurnas 2000 takes out one of the Nuas with its seed missiles. It's down to 1 health, and it does get away. How treacherous. Z1 DC are coming forward, and they've revealed that there's a small squad here. I'm moving forward my infantry with Scott 2AMs. They're unloading their machine guns here. They're getting awfully close and need to unload. One takes a RPG to the face. As I unload my infantry, they're going to have to do battle with the MBT-70s and US Marines. T-72 Wilkie is going to help out, as well as the Mi-24W, but an FA-18C Hornet is coming in. My new only has 1 rocket left and comes forward, and it successfully takes that out, but it also took out another of my AA vehicles right there. Chaparral gets taken out by the Mi-24W, which is now highly damaged and needs to be sent back for repairs quite soon. Nua is out of ammo and is being relocated to a new forest line, as the rest of my infantry have been taken out by the combination of the MBT-70s and US Marines, just holding them off. Hero is flying the MiG-29 air superiority fighter over some AA, not the smartest move to do so. And it's kind of, I can't believe he is busy in the center, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to be a caring friend. I'm going to let you know that your MiG is right here in a holding pattern. So, there we go. Recon vehicle is retreating. They haven't really pushed into the forest here, other than looks like they bombed it quite well with all my infantry being damaged. I do have a pretty good forest hanging on. I've got some napalm infantry to stop any infantry coming across here, and I've got some Spedo, I don't know how to pronounce that, the regular infantry with some AA, and I HE rocket the whole forest again, knowing that there are some Marines, trying to weaken them up for my next push. Now over in the center, we've got, looks like Hero is breaking through quite well. Wilk is going to get a shot off onto a Zelda, does miss though. I hear fire, but I don't see fire. Oh well. Roviat 90 is opening up against the Jackery 90s, but the Wilk is going to take them out, no problem. And that should have taken them out. Alright, excellent. So, over here on the right, I'm just still trying to consolidate and take this forest, because once I can take this forest, I can assist Hero and then just completely charge forward and flank on the rank of right of Dimitri. An F-15D Eagle is coming in, and it has huge amounts of payload for 1,000 kilogram bombs. Those things are going to cause quite a damage. I see that coming by a mile away. I'm going to try to move my infantry out of the way as best as possible, but my Grobs do manage to hit it, and it stun it, but it's going to overshoot. Nua fires 1 missile, and it takes it in the butt, and down it goes. Perfect. So, and of course turn off the Nua, just because I do know that he still has that seaplane. Huge amount of infantry force. Roviat 90s have caught off Hero's push with his Panzery. Lots of Zeldas also to assist, so this is a good defensive force, and he's just kind of throwing infantry in at the basically into the chewing ground right here, but I let him know that I am preparing my RM-70s for rockets. These are going to help him out. He is providing some artillery and mortar fire to help out, but I definitely want to doubly sure. And in come the rockets. Perfectly skilled, not hitting any of his infantry whatsoever, and definitely starting up anything that is still left alive. Zeldas are revealed as the Shokas are trying to open up, and he has actually got some Yakuris here as well. So he's making some excellent ground, pushing into the middle. It's definitely relieving pressure off of the rest of us. I have an MPT-70 that needs to come up. I've got a Twardy and Wilk replacement ready for round 2, this time knowing that the F-18C Hornet is gone. I've got another duo coming up to help out in case he does send out another F-18 Hornet. He's still pushing into the center, but the Roviet 90s are going to be able to hold them off, especially now that they're throwing their own mortar support in. Tank fired the shot before getting taken out by an ATGM, and some artillery coming forward by these Telcasts. Interesting. MPT-70 has revealed itself. It's not an automatically shoot against supply vehicles. I say that, and I get my Formosa out just in time before its transport vehicle gets taken out by the MPT-70. My supply vehicles do manage to successfully get to town. They're going to do their job, basically trying to resupply my troops because they are been quite battered. But the MPT-70 has been revealed into the center, so I'm able to get an eye on that and plot how to kill it. MiG-29 providing air superiority, and this is my answer. That's Sierra 30. Maybe a little bit overkill, but hey, you leave a tank out in the open for me to kill, I'll kill it. Oh, it takes a shot at from something down in the forest. It takes one hit, and it gets out safe and sound. Perfect. So there's a huge force here on to the right, and I see that there, and yep, here comes aiming of the rockets. So these are going to be barraged upon because they're just standing out in the field. There's no care in the worry, but they are now going to start moving just as my rockets are about to fire. So will these rockets actually hit? That remains to be seen. Here they come. Oh, nice hit against those riflemen. Everything's panicked. Perfect. And my troops are moving forward again. I've got Sapri, Stummery. They're going to screen these tanks as they march forward. Now I'm actually going to park my tanks here and here. They're going to have a good vantage point of this forest to be able to provide good kinetic rounds in case anything reveals its head. As my infantry are going to push forward, and they're going to go and take this forest here. My Z1 Dalsy are going to also provide recon against anything that might show up, as the rest of the forces are going to try to cut me off. F-18C Hornet is coming. I expected him to do that, and my newest radar are on. Coming forward, he takes out the Wilk, but the F-18 does go down. I drop a napalm bomber over where the reinforcements are going to be coming. Bradley and OVTP are now within napalm, as U.S. Marines have revealed themselves against the Sapri Stramuri. And my 24W comes in and helps out with Kokon missile. Another LVTP is going to try to rip apart my Sapri, but it's a point-blank shot from a 20. And the Bradley is pretty well damaged within this napalm, and if he doesn't get out, yeah, that happens. Napalm does do at least one damage to armored vehicles, and if they stay within fire for that long, they do die. Twardy is going to engage U.S. Marines at point-blank range, generally frowned upon, but when it has its front armor of 20 and the U.S. Marine 90s only have 19 AP power, it's relatively alright. Sapri are going to provide their napalming abilities, as it seems there are going to be some small squads here as well. I move forward some Spado Schnerzi. They're going to be providing some fire against these riflemen 90s and forcing the enemy to fall back. Hero's doing a good job. He's basically breaking through into the middle, and looks like E-Raid successfully pushed through onto the left. All this cluster and such, and the CV is definitely dead, finally. And this is a good complete surround. Troops are pushing forward onto the center, combined with a left flank. The enemy has no idea which way to respond or point their fire. March shoots in, unfortunately weren't dropped out in time, but these March shoots in got into there alright. Mi-17 is going to provide fire with his machine gun before getting shot down by some anti-air fire. So he's got Fedor. And Hero is still pushing forward here in Dmitry, and I'm still trying to finish up getting rid of these troops here on the right. I got a Hems that's going to definitely be good on supply. And my torpedoes are going to be targeted up the riflemen and vehicles as such. Just getting right into position here. An M8 AGS. Perfect takes it out. Now all that's left is that Maglan squad. Just got to get a target fire on him. Or shoot the rifleman. Yep, okay. Just pick your priority. Supply trucks have been captured. I don't know where. Oh, enemy supply truck captured. Yep. Moving forward my Sapri. They're going to go and try to take it forward there. As we're basically swarming them on all fronts. And that's the end. Alright, so that was a conquest game. They knew they couldn't defeat us. We were all pushing forward, pressing our advantage. And even though it was conquest, I still got a higher kill to loss ratio. So pretty decent for a Polish deck. And I do want to thank all the players in the game. Uretz, Dogma, What's His Face, Hero, and E-Rate for joining in on this. Just getting a good game together. It's actually nice to just play a game with a deck that you enjoy. So, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you all in the next deck building video where I put together another nation that you guys chose for me. And I'll see you all in that next video.